Well,
you so mad.
Well, let's before we get there, there's a few more questions we have to ask here. So again, like I said earlier with the Bramani Jones and like a lot other people's commentary on it, do you feel like Kendrick Lamar has shown that he was a big enough star for that moment? Because again,
No, I don't. Okay, let's get into that. I think the Not Like Us like momentum propelled him into that position a little bit earlier than he should have gotten it. I feel like Not Like Us put him into a like pop culture space that he wasn't in before, because only like hip hop fans and I'll say only hip hop fans really like Kendrick before this. Now people outside of hip hop absolutely love him. People in like Congress are bringing him up and Senate and stuff like that. So after this, and he dropped GNX and then one more project of like undeniable, like solidifying that like this is where I'm at now, I feel like he should have gotten it in maybe like 2027, 2028.
So
I think right now would have been a little bit too early.
So I think there's different people in this world. There's people who, you know, they rise to the occasion. There's people who, you know, for the whole game, they look like they're trash, but when it really gets important, clutch time, you know, they rise to those occasions and make those big baskets. There's guys who are good the whole time. I think there are people who are stars, who are meant to shine, who at any moment can be charismatic and can control the room. I think there's some people who are just dragon slayers. I think everybody isn't David in the David Goliath story. I think some people are just folks who take down the dragon. People who take down are mercenaries. And I think that's what Kendrick Lamar is. And I think what we saw on Sunday was somebody who moment wasn't really big. Somebody who's not really the artist that can fulfill that kind of moment. And I think that's kind of the real thing, where the hits just aren't there. The connection with the people aren't there. Even though you have your
Lamar had already won like 22 Grammys
that's
before
cool.
Not
That's
Like
cool.
Us.
I'm not talking about that industry shit. And again, I'll discuss that later on. I'm not talking about the industry shit. I'm talking about the connection with the people. When you put the mic in the air, they can just say your words off the top of their heads. That's what I'm talking about.
When you say the people, because he already had a connection with the black people. I'm saying that this made him had a connection with the people outside of black people.
I disagree. I think they saw that and they were turned off of what they saw. That is not the kind of art that.
No, I'm not talking about the Super Bowl. I'm talking about Not Like Us.
That's what I'm saying.
He got into the world of like the people who didn't know him and now they know him and now they like him. There are mad people who didn't listen to Kendrick who listen to Kendrick now.
Yeah, they listen to Not Like Us. People here are listening to this right here and they saw him.
You know how many white people I saw dancing on TikTok to GNX?
Of course, people are going to do that. They're paying people to do all that. That's not out of the realm of possibility to see. What I'm discussing here, is him as an artist and what he can bring. And he has limitations. And he is not a global star that is going to dominate and bring people to their feet and enjoy a time. What they were doing, let me finish. Yeah, it's never going to be like that. That's the part of it, that they put him in a position where he's only a dragon slayer. You are not the king to reign over this hip hop world, and I think it's going to show. I think it's going to be detrimental.
Hip-hop,
to
yes.
hip-hop.
Pop, no.
It's going to be detrimental to hip hop. Hip hop is moving into a pop element where it is one of the biggest genres in the world. And I don't think if you're going to make him your number one guy, he's not going to be able to hold the crown.
I think it was. I don't think hip hop is doing that anymore because it's been dropping like numbers wise for a little minute now.
But all music has.
Everyone has been saying that.
But that's all music. That's not just hip hop. All music's been dropping.
I don't know. I don't like when we start doing the like tinfoil hat conspiracy.
I didn't do anything tinfoil. I'm talking about him as an artist.
If you let me finish, I don't like when you start doing the tinfoil hat conspiracy. These random white people in middle America are being paid. You said they're being paid.
Oh yeah, people are being paid to do
like
that.
They're being paid to like Becky in Nebraska is being paid to dance to Not Like Us in her living room while her daughter who's home from college is recording her and it gets 250,000 views. Like, come on now, that's Becky. Not what's happening.
It's not Becky, but there's somebody that maybe she's watching that scene that is popular who was paid by them to do that. Now she's just copying what she's seeing is getting traction. That's how these things work. They put money into the song. Like, you can't act like they didn't put money into the song.
Of course, that's what they do.
But I'm saying,
they didn't put money into random people dancing to his NFL performance on TikTok the night of. Like, I don't like the. You just sound so ridiculous, like I said, to me when you do stuff like that.
I think, like I said, it's very forced what they're trying to do with him. I think again, he's a good artist. I think he has his role, his element. I don't think he can be the number one guy, and it showed that night. But
I would love if hip hop got to the place where Kendrick could be the number one guy, because when this Drake Kendrick thing started, I've had this sentiment for the whole time that Drake is Target and Kendrick is like a more niche fashion house. That's how I've been saying. That's how I've been comparing them the whole time. Of course, somebody like Drake would be a better fit for this because he has a formulaic basic pattern of making music. Like it's literally accessible to everyone. It's Target, it's Walmart.
To use your example, when niche clothing lines are niche businesses like that get an influx of money and then they try to push that to the masses, they generally will fail because there's only a small market.
You're not even trying to talk about fashion right now. They
not.
Don't fail.
Yes, they are. If you're talking about niche markets, yes,
let's talk about Schiaparelli specific.
I'm not talking about just. I'm talking about general business. If you get into a niche market and you try to expand that niche market, if you don't reach out to the people who are going to give commerce to that, who are going to be like, hey, I want this, I want to consume this, then it fails. And you see that all the time with a whole bunch of niche markets that'll come out. Oh, what's this? And then 2 years from now, you don't even see that company anymore. That happens all the time.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen with Kendrick. I think he has, like I said before, the man had like 20 something Grammys before this happened with Drake in the first place.
But see,
he has already solidified his position in hip hop and as an artist and in our culture. And
the part here, this is why I'm saying just exactly what you said, and we can go over a little bit more detail. Exactly what you said proves my bigger point is the fact that you base that on his own success. Drake's success was not just his own success, but the fact that he was creating and building other artists. And we have failed to see that from Kendrick Lamar at the rate that we saw that with Drake. So
who other than The Weeknd?
Other than The Weeknd, we talking about Migos. Talk about a whole bunch of other people he got on.
Drake?
No, he got on that song and that made them a national.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Because we could talk about the entire fucking black hippie TDE. Like,
yeah, and those
let's
guys,
move on.
And those guys are selling
let's
11K first week.
Because
and those guys are selling 11 and 17K first week.
Literally a thing.
And those guys are selling trash the first week.
SZA.
All right, no, let's get into
SZA.
No, we're not worried about SZA right now.
SZA.
I'm not worried about SZA right now.
Schoolboy Q. Like, come on now.
Again, SZA was TDE more than it was Kendrick Lamar. So, but we don't have to get into all that.